Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever it is, wherever you are, welcome. Now, this video will definitely be demonetized, but what the hey, whatever. Let's get this information out there. So, one thing that I dislike today is how people put their politics ahead of common sense or even ahead of public safety. Their partisan lines mean so much to them, and that goes for either side. I'm on the center, and I'm calling out both sides. Both sides do stupid things. But when you put the safety of our citizens at risk, that's stupid. Let's get into this story because really this is the Philadelphia Police Department really dropped the ball not once but twice on this guy. We got a couple tabs queued up here for you guys. From the Daily Caller, ICE catches alleged child sexual predator repeatedly released by Philadelphia police. And I'll pull up the ICE news release here in just a second. The Philadelphia Police Department arrested Hector Moran Espinoza, an illegal alien accused of heinous sexual abuse crimes against minors on 2 different occasions. Both times, the Philadelphia Police Department chose to ignore a detainer request by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, choosing instead to release him back into the community. Philadelphia, a sanctuary city that refuses to cooperate with federal immigration authorities, has chosen to release a growing number of illegal aliens accused of heinous crimes, despite ICE detainers. And that's, I understand people have their political opinions, but Jesus, man. When you're law enforcement, you're supposed to be able to look past that and say, hey, look, this person has a detainer. Why do they have a detainer? Well, they're here illegally. Well, they're here legally. That's a crime. They're here illegally. And then this, to release him twice. And later on, I'll show you that Philadelphia knew that he was a sexual predator for the charges that they arrested him for the first 2 times. Immigration and Customs, continuing reading. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE agents, were able to arrest an illegal alien accused of sexual abuse against children after local police refused to honor an ICE detainer and twice released him from their custody. It's amazing. It's just amazing to me. The Philadelphia Police Department arrested Hector Moran Espinoza, a Guatemalan national living in the U.S. illegally on 2 different occasions on charges relating to the sexual abuse of children. Both times, federal immigration authorities lodged a detainer request for Moran Espinoza, but both times, Philadelphia police ignored their requests and released him back into the community. That's just crazy, and I have the press release from ICE queued up here. Let's go to this press release. ICE arrests child sexual predator released twice by local law enforcement officials, despite the ICE detainer. On November 27th, ICE arrested an unlawfully present Guatemalan national for sexual abuse against children after he was released from police custody. It was the second time that he was released, even though ICE lodged detainers against him both times. This is the original crime that he was picked up for by Philadelphia Police Department. Listen to this. Hector Moran Espinoza was arrested April 2nd by the Philadelphia Police Department for involuntary, deviant sexual intercourse by forcible compulsion, unlawful contact with a minor, sexual offenses, statutory sexual assault, endangering the welfare of children, parent, or guardian, commits offense, corruption of minors, indecent assault without the consent of the person, reckless endangerment of another person, rape by forcible compulsion, sexual abuse of children, photographing, videotaping, depicting on a computer or filming sexual acts, and aggravated indecent assault without consent. Those don't sound like little petty itty-bitty charges, and yet they released him. April 2nd. That was April 2nd of this year. April 2nd. 1 month later. 1 month. Less than a month. April 2nd, they released him. May 9th, so April 2nd, May 9th, a month and a couple days. A month and a couple days later. So they didn't even hold him for very long at all. They held him, probably went to his little arraignment court, and they released him there. I don't know, but that's crazy. Just barely over a month later, he was arrested again by the Philadelphia Police Department for unlawful contact with a minor, sexual offenses, corruption of minors, indecent assault of a person under 13 years of age, reckless endangerment of another person, and endangering the welfare of a child, parent, or guardian commits offense. That is nuts. So people are putting their political views ahead of common sense. And I know people are going to say, well, but prosecution always comes with this big list of charges. Okay, yeah. But with this list of charges, you can kind of get an idea of what kind of a person he was and what he was doing. So even if they got rid of most of those offenses, any of those offenses deserve jail time. Why did they release him? Why did they release him? He had multiple criminal offenses, and they released him. So they put their whole city at risk for a political view? I don't understand this. I don't understand it. Why? Was it to make a statement? Well, we're not going to follow federal ICE detainers because we're a sanctuary city. Were they getting orders from the mayor's office? I mean, the whole thing is just, it stinks. It stinks. Sanctuary policies leave ICE with no choice but to increase enforcement in neighborhoods and workplaces to locate and arrest these persons while they are at large. Now think of it this way. By the Philadelphia Police Department not doing its job, now the federal government is going to flood more federal agents into the region. So now you've got even more law enforcement people in the region. What happens when you get more law enforcement people in the region? Well, you get more arrests. That's just the way it works. You get more officers, you get more arrests. And most arrests are petty, dumb arrests, but you get more arrests. It puts the populace at an unease, and you just get this adversarial system going on. And it's really not supposed to be adversarial. Enforcement and citizenry is not supposed to be an adversarial system. They're supposed to work in conjunction with each other. It is safer for everyone if ICE takes custody of an alien in the controlled environment of another law enforcement agency, as opposed to visiting an alien's residence, place of work, or other public area. Arresting a criminal in the safety, security, and privacy of a jail is always the best option, which I would agree. Less likelihood of a conflict or an additional conflict. When law enforcement agencies don't honor ICE detainers, these individuals, who often have significant criminal histories, are released onto the street, presenting a potential public safety threat. Why are partisan lines more important than public safety? That we have become so partisan that we can't see the forest through the trees. We cut off our nose just to spite our face. Something that we should all be aware of, and you know, I mean, it sucks. So here this young girl's life was ruined, or young boy's life, it doesn't say. Young person's life was ruined. He was picked up, arrested, should have been tried and put in jail for those offenses alone, and then released, and just over a month later commits another offense, arrested again, released again. Why? Is anybody okay with this? Am I seeing ghosts? Am I seeing shadows everywhere? I don't know. Let me know. Help me beat this YouTube algorithm. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Share. It's a sad story. Nobody wins. It's a sad story. It really is. It's just, I don't understand. And even when I debate online, yeah, everybody's so stuck on their partisan lines that they don't want to try to open their eyes to new truths. They'd rather live in an echo chamber rather than having their belief systems challenged. Well, how do you know your belief systems are correct if you never have them challenged? Anyways, I've ranted long enough. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I will see you on the next one.